Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
Eye exams, kidney checks, foot exams, these are all part of whole person diabetes care.
Great! The year now start on January, almost done already!
So you have only 2 more Saturdays in January to hear 15 diabetic friendly minutes on VOB, starting up right now, all brought to you by the Barbados Diabetes Foundation.
Here's what's coming up in today's show.
So over the last few years, there's been increasing interest and usage in an air fryer.
Are air fryers good or bad?
Do they really make food healthier for true?
Dietitian Victoria Cox gives you the facts on air fryers. And what are you discussing today, Dr. Diane Bradford?
I want to discuss insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance?
Listen to hear what Dr. D has to say about insulin resistance. And what else, Dr. D?
Insulin resistance is also being directly linked to cancer.
All these engaging health topics coming up right now on VOB, all with the compliments of the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, and the bank that you should elect to be your financial partner in 2026, Republic Bank.
Dream a dream and watch it become a reality. You can do anything. Pull up a chair, come sit and come share with Republic Bank. You can do anything. Yes, we're the one for you, making dreams come true. We're the one for you, your partner for life. We're the one for you, Republic Bank.
In 2026, for podiatry, diabetic eye screening, and vascular services, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center is your #1 choice for the best diabetic services at the best price. If you are diabetic or pre-diabetic or would just like to get your numbers checked, diabetes doctors, nurses, a dietitian, and a range of health professionals are available to serve you. Just call 417-0305 for the Maria Holder Diabetes Center located in Warren St. Michael, saving your life and saving you money. But members get 10% off.
Good morning, VOBers! Peter Boy's here to put some healthy joy into your Saturday morning. The bell has rung and elections coming soon, so maybe it's time that you elect to pay more attention to your health, especially if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Elect to take yourself to the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, which is situated in Warren St. Michael behind Eunice Gibson Polyclinic, where you should also elect to get your eyes screened for diabetic retinopathy. Whilst election year is every 4 years, if you are diabetic, you should be getting your eyes screened once every year.
Electing to have good eyesight is a good thing.
At the Diabetic Center, you can also get vascular screening. Remember, you don't have to be diabetic to get a vascular screening.
You don't?
No! If your feet is swelling up and you feel you may have bad circulation, elect to go to the Maria Holder Diabetes Center and let them tell you what is happening with your feet. You might be avoiding a serious complication. Are you looking to go out and get your Saturday pudding at sauce today? Are you wondering if it is good for you? At the Diabetes Center, you can also find dietitian Victoria Cox if you want professional advice on the correct foods to eat to keep you healthy. Whether you are diabetic or not, make an appointment to see dietitian Victoria 417-0305 and she will answer any food questions which you may have. Yeah, Alfonso here. Good morning to the people on VOB. I have a question for Victoria Cox. Remember last week on this show when I told Dr. D about how I air fried piece of chicken and how good it was? So what I would like to know from Victoria is if it's really healthier to cook food using an air fryer. That's what I want to know.
So over the last few years, there's been increasing interest and usage in an air fryer, which is essentially just an appliance that cooks food by rapidly circulating hot air. So it is meant to sort of achieve that nice crispy texture that sort of mimics how fried foods would be in texture. But the whole point, of course, is that you can use no oil or very, very little oil as compared to shallow or certainly as compared to deep frying. So by by nature, what makes it healthier is the fact that, let's say you're doing, could be a protein such as chicken, or it could be a carbohydrate such as, sweet potato, or you can even do veggies in there. Instead of cooking those in oil, frying chicken or frying potato or chips, you can just season them, perhaps add a very tiny amount of oil if you wish, and pop them straight into the air fryer and let that hot air, circulate and cook it and give you that nice crispy texture, as opposed to putting it in a saucepan or in a fryer with a lot of oil. So the lack of oil is what makes it the healthier and arguably more recommended cooking option. It's also very convenient, easy to clean and sort out. So I just tend to think it's a great cooking method, especially if you are, worried about things like cholesterol or weight gain, because using a lot of certain types of oils can increase bad cholesterol levels, and oils are extremely high calorie, so again can be a problem for weight management and contribute to weight gain. So being able to switch from frying pretty much anything you can think of on the stovetop to cooking in an air fryer with those no oil, it would be definitely worth trying.
Thank you, Victoria Cox, for that healthy cooking food advice. And you only get it like this on the Maria Holder Diabetes Center radio show every Saturday, as we move right along to Dr. Diane Brathwaite. So what are you discussing today, Dr. D?
I want to discuss insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance is the body's inability to respond to insulin in the correct way. In other words, we have insulin circulating or insulin put in, and the insulin doesn't do quite what it's supposed to do. So normally, insulin is there to help us absorb and use sugars that we may consume from the diet for energy. When you're insulin resistant, the sugar is there from the digestion, the breakdown of the starches, but it doesn't get utilized as effectively because the insulin might not be telling the organs to mop up the sugar as effectively in the system. Okay, and what causes insulin resistance? Well, it can be genetic, but we also know mostly is caused by an increase in fatty material in the cells in our body, particularly in the muscle, in the liver, and in the pancreas. And you can get this increased fat deposition in other parts as well, but we won't go into those other parts in too much detail. Insulin resistance is something that builds over life because fat accumulates in our body over life. And fat is not just the fat that, maybe we see on the outside when we pinch ourselves, but it's the internal fat that causes the insulin resistance. Yes, the fat around your abdomen may be a reflection of the amount of fat in your body, but you still get fat in the cells, and this is a lifetime accumulation. This is why insulin resistance increases generally as we get older. Okay, and you can have that insulin resistance whether you have excess body weight or whether you don't. Okay, and I want to flag up something else important. This is an emerging thing. Generally, with increasing body weights, that we're seeing the changes in diet that are higher in fats and refined sugars, which then get changed into fats in the body. We're finding that persons, both with type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, have insulin resistance. So this is something to really think about, because even if you had type 1 diabetes, in which case your body might not be producing insulin, the accumulation of fats can make you more resistant to insulin, meaning that you can still have insulin resistance even if you have type 1 diabetes. Okay, and of course insulin resistance increases the risk of what we call gestational diabetes as well. Okay, so that will be our talking and learning point for today. Insulin resistance. Insulin resistance also increases the risk of high blood pressure, abnormal cholesterol profiles, heart disease, stroke, kidney damage, and just a whole lot more kind of going on there in the body. Okay, so we're all going to see how we can make some conscious efforts to reduce our insulin resistance through healthier diets that are lower in saturated fats, refined sugars, higher in fiber, regular exercise, and reduced alcohol consumption as well. So that's my note for this Saturday, and by all means go and get your Google hats on and you can check out more on insulin resistance and see how you can change your own insulin resistance in your body. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. Remember, don't forget all those annual checks we mentioned about 2 programs ago. Make sure that you get them done to get this year kicking off, so you know where you are with your eyes, your kidneys, your foot function, your circulation, and your heart. And my other reminder to everybody out there living with diabetes, or if you have a high risk for another problem, please remember, check your feet regularly, daily, and if you've got a problem with your foot, don't try to self-treat. Please get the attention that you need for your foot as early as possible so that you can have a better outcome.
An important point not to be left out, of course, is insulin resistance is also being directly linked to cancer, and one has to wonder if that has anything to do with the increasing rates of cancer that we're seeing around the world. Cancers are being picked up in much younger populations as well. So something that everybody can work on. You do not have to have diabetes to work on your insulin resistance. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. D, for that information on insulin resistance this Saturday morning as we go into our Saturday song of the day. And this is a resistance song, Barris Hammond with Putting Up a Resistance. Compliments the Maria Holder Diabetes Center and Republic Bank.
I never can understand it, the way the system ran. There's no hope, chance, no loophole to escape from suffering. Cause every time I lift my head above water and try to save myself from drown, there's an overnight scheme all would have felt designed to keep me down. Still I'm putting up a resistance.
Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
You know I'm putting up a resistance. I've gotta work it out.
What is insulin resistance?
I wanna stay home tonight. I long to spend some time with the family, but staying home won't make it right. Sometimes pressure makes me feel like harder when every sign says no way out. Waking up and you make an overtime dollar that just goes from man to mouth. Still I'm putting up a resistance.
What is insulin resistance?
Get out. No, I'm putting up a resistance. I've got to work it out.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
Cheryl, share with us your experience of the challenge of living with diabetes.
It has been very challenging because I had developed diabetic neuropathy in my feet. That was a challenge, and I was recommended to attend the Diabetic Center at Warren's, and that was the best decision that I could have made. They gave good advice and treatment, and I like the fact that they have a complete team, a range of medical assistance for diabetics, such as your eyes, your heart, and your general health, and they're very professional. I'm saying that diabetes is not a death sentence. It's challenging, but you can manage it, you can live with it. You need to be disciplined. And also make sure, if you're listening to the program this morning and you haven't already gone, please visit the Diabetic Center at Warren's. There's a great team there. They give you advice, they guide you through, and you'll be much better for it.
Cutting-edge international medical services are waiting for you at the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. If you are listening to VOB right now and you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, vascular screening, diabetic eye screening, dietitian consultation, and podiatry services can all be accessed by calling 417-0305. Make that call today. The last 15 minutes you heard on VOB was brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program, the Maria Holder Diabetes Center, and Republic Bank. Until next time.
Diabetes doubles your risk of heart disease. Know your numbers today.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done for just $100. But members get 10% off. The Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program. Saving eyes, saving lives.
Dream a dream and watch it become a reality. You can do anything. Pull up a chair, come sit and come share with Republic Bank. You can do anything. Yes, we're the one for you, making dreams come true. We're the one for you, your partner for life. We're the one for you.
The Maria Holder Holder Diabetes Center.